the grand finals. We're jumping in Akrew against Soar. Pistol round to start it off. The drone as well. Already putting up sight for this attacking team.
Just get that little bit of information. What might be expected as a lurk over on A is going to be converted into a nice little kill for Soar to get an advantage. But a push out onto site, there is so much line of sight denial, but that's not going to stop Akrew from getting a kill out of the gate. And you know, there was that push up towards B. There was that pressure there. But with two people going down on A, it's going to be a mad dash over to A site. Viper wall for Soar already has been used up. But Akrew does have one to start trying to be going back on the defensive.
It would be wild not to see that rotation coming in after getting the two opening picks. This is looking really good, even though it turns out to be a 2v2. The Sage on both sides, which provide potentially a little bit of healing, but Stellar able to get the Viper on the enemy team is a 2v1, still very much doable for the set of Akrew. Does get spotted, does take the damage, and Stellar will be cleaning up the enemy Sage, taking the attackers to win the first round here at our grand finals.
And that was a good pistol round coming out from both teams, but Soar taking that advantage. I like right out of the gate that there is, you know, the pick and just, you know, we're just gonna get out. We're not gonna commit to B. I know there's a utility there, but I mean that's what you gotta do, right? You gotta be willing to switch things up a little bit. And now they get to go buy some weapons going into the second round.
Those weapons are always going to look nice, especially in a map like this one, and to even for the attacking team forcing a post where you have the better guns, can do everything for the enemy. So that is when Kentucky can shine a little bit more, using that utility, getting away with the opening pick, and shutting down no one else in Physic, who was the one giving information to the rest of the team and was an absolute highlight on that semifinals.
Aussie trying to find one around the corner, and a bit of damage. But that's all going to be good for as the rest of the team looks to rotate out. Trill has been pushing out onto B, but Calm around the corner with the shorty in hand is going to be putting an end to that. And now, Soar, who thought they might have had that site, looking to set their sights maybe back towards A. Bossy doing a nice little push up through mid, though. Trying to see if there's a rotation coming out, trying to get this little bit of information. This could be a very good flank as he hops around the corner. Not only going to take the two down on sight, but going to be taking down the stage, going over for the flank. And now, Calm, the shorty Viper warrior, with only 34 HP left to try and go for this retake.
And the Sage for Stellar doesn't really know where the Viper is going to be. It's good for one, but a lot more to go on with barely any HP. 34 to work with. The situation might get more and more difficult. Gets shot down by chemicals. Not any possibility for Akrew to get anything else going on in that second round. As we go into the third one, the bonus round should be a good one for Akrew. Has been able to change things around in the last matches and the last maps that we've been able to see from them on that third round. That is usually when they take that first win, even if they are not able to win that pistol round. But still, though, struggling and hoping that this one is going to work, especially as Soar is also committed to buying a couple of those Vandals.
So we're just looking to get on a little bit of even footing here, as you're going to be playing a bit more aggressively towards B, but so is Neon. Gonna be taking the high angle, playing on top of this box. Chemical's gonna be getting that information, and not only that, is gonna be able to follow that up with the kill to get that advantage. Calm, though, already Viper's Pit in hand is gonna be popping that over on B. Try and shut down that avenue completely and force Soar out.
The 4v3 in the meantime, this attacking team looking towards B, but realizing it might be a little too hard, especially with this Viper's Pit and the Viper hiding right in the middle of it. Especially hiding in that yellow box that is really difficult to deal with when you don't have the visibility to work with. So that is why the drone is going to try to be a little bit more effective. Wait. What?
Calm pushed so far up, avoided the owl drone, but is not going to avoid much else, especially those bullets hurtling right at him. And with that kill, the Viper's Pit goes down and the push out comes out onto site. Gonna be a push around the corner. One gonna be good. Multiple kills to hold this on. Wall coming up for a little bit of a power angle. And what a power angle it is, but it's not going to be enough, Akrew, to take this round.
As expected from this team, they are going to take their first round victory on this one, on the third round of this grand finals. First map that we see between them, and fighting to get ahead with anything that they have. But Soar, as of right now, it seems like they could have potentially made a mistake into the last round where they decided to force those vandals, and it didn't really turn out the way that they wanted to. And what Khan was able to do there was insane, just almost going in the backline where everyone was, but got shot down immediately, unfortunately. So those opportunities got denied pretty early on. And this one, though, should be a little bit smoother and maybe an A-side push.
You're looking for that little bit of information. Both of the Jets taking high ground angles, trying to catch anyone out. These straight gunfights, hopping around the corner. Neon being able to clean up with 3 kills on the board. Kampeki going to secure 1 as well. And Trill, all of a sudden, we've been watching that flank, left in a 5v1 situation, Marshall in hand.
It is not the first time that we see the one last player remaining this time around for the side of Soar, trying to get anything going. But of course, the Jet on the enemy team will be shutting this down in a 2-2 that we see right now. And looking to shape in the way that we've seen pretty much every single match today, where it is looking extremely close. And I love how competitive these matches can get.
Oh, definitely. What else do you expect getting into the finals of the winner champ? There's going to be these teams. These are good teams. There is going to be this competition. There are going to be these fights. And I mean, already with the tied game, it's been pretty awesome. A wall going up to try and keep this a little bit safer, but it's not going to be that safe for Soar. A push up into this. It is the tour de force on the other side. They be playing right into it, and they don't have any clue. The owl drone shot out of the sky before he could even get this information.
Even though shooting out it can also be a little bit of information, and Kampeki getting a really good opening pick. That is when we see this agent being highlighted. That has been one of the conversations of the day. How effective can Chamber be? How good are his guns and his abilities, his utility? And there is, we see it shining a little bit more, even forcing this attacking team into making a full rotation towards A.
The wall goes up, though. It'll be a little bit more difficult to start pushing through, and Stellar's going to be finding that one out the hard way as Com's taking him down on the other side. With only 30 seconds left, though, to be pushing it. Chemical's able to be firing back off in hand. But at this point, nobody's going to peek him. That off's not going to do too much good. Neon in the corner is going to be able to grab yet another kill. And at this point, Soar's running out of time. They have 10 seconds to start trying to push out onto site. And at that point, it's just going to be Chemicals cutting the loss and getting out of there with the op.
Oh, you want to keep the operator, even though for the enemy team, they want to play aggressive pancake. Does get taken down, is going to peek. Good for another one towards the end. And Chemicals gets away with 3 towards the end. Of course, going to be beneficial for the economy, as they are also able to keep that operator. And with that, though, Akrew is going to get ahead, and that was just an amazing way of playing that round, where we saw Soar, or where we saw Akrew with this Chamber getting the opening pick, denying control but of the side completely, and forcing that rotation of the attacking team towards A, where another opening pick was right there to happen, and the time was running out for them. Soar is still good to get something going on this one, and that is a good way to do it.
Definitely. The Jet v Jet. The tale as old as time. And Neon will have a second lease at life. Resurrection coming out to put this into even numbers. Have another op back online. At this point, Soar, you're going They're going to be eyeing up A this time around. This time peeking it with a little bit more time on their hands, but it's also not going as well. And Pecky already with 2, but Trill, absolute tear with that Marshall, is going to be able to fire back. Not going to be enough. Already Chemicals in the same situation as last time. 1v3 with the op. Doesn't have
can't run away this time, I don't
think. No, team already chasing him down.
The classic is gonna be the kill, is gonna be the confidence building up towards the side of Akrew. And now make it a 4-2 grand finals. Again, just a reminder in case you guys forgot, because it is looking pretty unstoppable for what we see Akrew doing in their adaptation over anything. 4 rounds in a row. Now Neon not only have the operator, but also having that blade storm to use whenever they find it necessary, even in a little bit late into the round if they don't want to use it just yet.
Oh, this is so aggressive from Neon. Right out of the gate, but it's not going to be the only person looking to play aggressive. Neon, though, all these kills, but look, the Boombot. Everything is happening. You blink and you miss a single second. Finally, it's going to be Soar taking an advantage. 2v1 situation as it's only Calm left to try and push back out onto site. Aldrone is going to be giving the positioning away. And the resurrection is going to make it infinitely more difficult. It's even trying to bounce across is not going to work. Physics will take that down, but what a round. Where do I even get started with that?
Yeah, Viper, once again, the last one remaining, gets shot down by so much aggression, and it could have been really, really good for Akrew. The way the Neon was playing so aggressive, immediately using those ropes, immediately trying to get to the other side, and even having the opening pick to work with. But because you're playing so aggressive and because there's no one else close to you to get that trade going on, the numbers started going more and more to the side of Soar, even having the information, not only with the drone, not only with the dart, but this one as well. That continues to go for the side of Akrew.
And Neon is on a tear right now, that's for sure. Not looking to be slowing up anytime soon, as Bossy poking out a little too far is going to be meeting his maker. And Soar already only 2 left to try and make a move with.
Yeah, it's a pretty good idea where the Sova will be pushing the double peak toss for Physics to get taken down, unfortunately, and Akrew making it into a flawless. The operator that is doing so much into the A side is doing so much every single side they go to even.
They need to get that op out of Neon's hands. They need to take Neon out of here, because Neon, that was 3 kills last round with the op, and Neon's been popping off. Even if Neon plays a little bit aggressive, the one round was an op kill, and then it was a shorty kill when someone tried to push him. This cannot stand if you're Soar. You need to get that op out of here.
Can they do it though? Especially as on the other side, you don't know. Kanapeki is also looking to get some kills with the operator peeking and actually making it happen in a very clean way. Trill gets taken down. The Viper lineups are going to get denied immediately from the side of Soar. You don't even have much to work with. There's operators everywhere.
Nowhere on this map is safe. Honestly, there's all the different angles. And a nice little flick up. Neon's able to secure yet another. And yet again, it's just like last round. Only 2 left. And the ops coming out on top. Might as well give everyone one at this point, because it will be a flawless round for Akrew.
When it's like 2 operators on a single team, I don't know how to feel, but at least for Akrew, I feel pretty comfortable that they're able to make them work. I mean, one of them was mid, the other one was in the hands of the chamber on the B side and taking control in a way that we oftentimes see the Viper taking control of that side. So it's nice to see those variations and a single agent and how much of a difference they can make just to open up those fights. And the way that these 2 are playing together into B side is so nice to deny even that potential.
Ooh, I like this though. It's gonna be a Viper's Cloud over in mid for an attempt to be pushing underneath tunnel or even just through mid, but the wall going up Bossy is going to be taken down, and that was not the push through mid that they needed. In case popping around, he's going to be able to find one as well. A rare miss shot from Neon. But at this point, there's already such an advantage, and Neon's not going to be missing it again. And Akrew, now they're flawless in the books.
This is why Icebox is one of those maps that you get the momentum, you know how to play it properly, and you look absolutely unstoppable. And for Akrew, this is exactly what they are doing. They're rotating ultimates. They are getting opening picks with 2 operators towards the beginning, and they're holding side so nice. Every single time that Soar wants to go to that B side, there is a chamber shutting that opportunity down, forcing their retake on, or forcing that push into that A site. Doesn't also work out.
Yeah, but what's to stop Soar from doing the same thing when it's their turn on defense? Just being able to go for these ops and make this impact, because this map is absolutely perfect for that. Art, you don't need ops, I guess. Pancakes is just gonna stand there with the Phantom in hand and get the 4 kills. Looking for the ace now. Trill around the corner is gonna deny that, but still, that was all the momentum needed. It is a 1v3 situation, and Neon's there to clean up the scraps at that point.
Neon has been keeping the operator for so long, and it is nice to see that this time around, it wasn't even needed until the very, very end. It is such a dominant performance from Akrew on this defensive side, shutting down everything. There's no way that we're gonna be seeing 3 operators, right? There is no way.
All right, Pancakes, you have enough to also get an op. Neon has enough to buy another op on the board. Just do it. Just go for it. Last round of the half, just go for the flex. 3 ops going over this. 2 is already enough of a flex, but a 3rd one, that's definitely a way to be putting yourself in even more of an advantage before the lead, and a way to kind of flex the money that you've had from all these rounds in a row.
Oh, come on. The worst part for the setup Soar is that everyone on the enemy team is connecting those picks with the operator. Sometimes it can get hard, but this time around it will not be easy. Hunter Fairy will be coming in, trying to get some information, trying to deny that plan. The virus is also going to make that vision a little bit harder, but finally some numbers going on for Soar.
Yeah, Neon goes down. Gonna push out onto site. It's going to be another Viper's Pit coming out to play, and a Hunter's Fury nonetheless. This is the time to use all of these ultimates, and honestly, this site is a disaster.
How do you see it?
Yeah, how anyone can see anything at this point, I had absolutely no idea. At this point, Soar has spike. They don't have to commit to this if they don't want to.
Absolutely, but I mean, yeah, even the plant was denied by the Hunter's Fury coming on early, and then they just couldn't get the timing to get it done. Physic, good pick there. Just 2 more to go if they want to take this round.
Oh!
And Pancakes is there, denying that potential in a 1v2. I don't think they know where Kenpeki is going to be.
This was such a good flank. Nice way to secure that. Nobody was going to be, you know, hopping around, trying to rotate out of the absolute disaster that was A site. Though it is a little clean now that there's only 1 Viper's ult on it. But as much as they don't know where Kenpeki is, he doesn't know where they are either. To navigate this really carefully, but Viper straying a little too far from the Viper's Pit is going to drop it, going to give that information, but Trill is still going to be able to follow up nonetheless. With that, Soar, get another point just in time for the swap.
An 8-4, which, of course, not ideal for Soar, but now looking to change things around on the defense. And he's got to start in the best way possible for them. I feel like we've seen so many highlights from Trill. We've seen even highlights from the set of Stellar on this team. But I'm thinking, where are the duelists? Where's Chemicals? Where's Bossy, who was highlighted so many times on that semifinals map that we were able to see? And right now is really struggling to connect those picks. This dying very early on is being the opener for the enemy team. And for Soar, if that means that the double duelists are going to shine in the defense, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the double duelists on the defense, how they're going to be formed, how they're going to be going into this. But what's always going to perform is that Viper utility and is going to be coming out on A. The wall drops and so does the cloud for a push out onto site. And so is that wall. Just to deny anyone pushing out just that little bit. Shock Dart, try and do some damage, but the plant is only just going to start going down now. But this will be a full 5 retake with a push back out onto A. Ooh. Penter.
Oh, Kentucky. Yeah, really nice way to get things going. This post-plant scenario where the defense definitely struggling to get things going. 2 members remaining, Viper and the Jet having a dream. Kentucky has to go down, has to drop from the high ground, but it doesn't matter. Still able to connect that last one. 3 for Kentucky on this pistol round, and that is when Chamber is going to shine the brightest in a situation like that one, where it gives Akrew the benefit to continue getting this momentum going, to continue potentially even getting those double digits as Soar is trying to save this one too.
Yeah, and taking down the pistol round's a fantastic way to be putting yourself in a good position to try and get that 10th round. Try and make sure that your attacking half can be just as strong as your defensive. Because at this point, they did so strong on the ops that they're going to be pushing up with the snipers this time around. Neon with the budget version, with the Marshall. Try to see if anybody else is going to be brave enough to peek, but no one quite yet. But as the wall goes up, it's a slow push out onto site, and Soar's already rotated over. So many of them hanging back towards Snowman.
Playing yellow too, this is what the attackers are trying to do before pushing in, before planting the spike. And Akrew, reminder, they do have the better guns, even though there's a couple Marshalls on the other side. It seems like to get something going. And a lot of damage that is going on. The Viper from Soar is so low.
There's a lot of damage being done. Not too many kills to be following up, but everybody's hurting just this little bit. Finally, as the spike does go down around the corner, the Spectres in hand are going to be coming out on top, and now it's only down to Chemicals. This 1v3 situation. One of them.
Classic.
Just a classic. That's not going to do too much against a Marshall, especially in the hands of Neon.
Double digits. Grand finals and first map that we see in Akrew already performing to such a high level. We compare even the kills from the top fraggers on the side of Akrew, and they are doing so much more. 4 of the members of Akrew have more kills than the top fragger of Soar, and that really leaves a statement into how good they have been performing on this map and how tough it is going to be for Soar to change their mentality, to change their playstyle into something that can be a little bit more beneficial. But they're changing things around. It's a mid to B that we're gonna be seeing now.
And this time around, there is full buy-ups for Soar. And despite the fact that it was Neon with that first kill, Marshall in hand, it's going to be Physics, who's been so consistent, to be following that up. Put Soar into the advantage, and look at that. Yes, you blink and you miss it. Such a fantastic job of taking down the round. There was 2 losses. That's 2 rifles. That would have been nice, but a nice round nonetheless.
I'm usually one of those people that really dislike those big to be pushes because it is so hard to make it work. And even towards the beginning, it was looking questionable for the side of Soar. It was kind of going back and forth with the kills, but finally Soar able to get ahead and give themselves at least another round. It is still a long way to go, though.
Oh, of course, but now that Soar is over on the defense, this could be their time to shine. And I'm sure the next couple of rounds will start to tell the tale of whether this is the swap that they needed, or if Akrew's just going to be starting to take the advantage going into it. Though Akrew might have one, as it's going to be the tour de force coming down, going to make any push on site a little bit of a scary one. Soars already have members just holding these different angles, but not quite on the site.
Not quite yet. And I like this defensive positioning. You're not playing on side, you're playing all the way back. That way, you're not risking dying too early into side while everyone on the attacking side is looking forward to play together, but it doesn't matter because the kills are going to continue coming in. Trill all the way in the back trying to get something going as well, but taking some damage, making things a lot harder for this team of Akrew. The rotations will be finally done. It seems like
30 seconds left.
Sage is going to be surrounded everywhere.
Surrounded, but gun in hand, still has a chance. Though it's not much of one when it's against Physics, who's able to push forward, push aggressive around the corner to put an end to that. And now only 4 difference between this scoreline between the two teams, but so far what we've seen from Soar on the defensive has been pretty strong.
It has been very strong, and it's only 2 though, so I want to see for how long they're able to keep this going. Physic, we highlighted a lot on their semifinals match, was able to get so many kills with the Hunter's Fury. That is an ultimate that is going to be available this time around. So an opportunity even for the Post to use those lineups to deny the defuse or the plan actually from happening and kind of going back and forth between them. But it seems like the opening pick for both of these teams has been so crucial into guaranteeing who's going to take it off.
Looking to try and take it though. Akrew making a little bit of a push up towards A as the Viper Cloud goes up in the wall to try and deny any line of sight, but Neon with the Blade Storm in hand is unable to find one and going down, and Soar doing a fantastic job of holding this. There's only 1 left, and with Chaff in hand, it's not going to be doing much in the hands of Calm, and with that, Soar slowly but surely bringing the scoreline just a little closer.
A little closer, definitely, but obviously kind of going back and forth between them. That was 3 rounds in a row, and the last one for Akrew, their economy. I mean, even though it was looking good, this one is going to be the decider on how messed up the economy can get. It's going to be a light shield for Kenpeki, and going for a little bit more of the default towards the beginning. Like on the floor, trying to get some information, trying to get some picks early on, maybe even waiting for the Viper's wall to go down into the B side before everyone trying to push in. There's only a Viper on the B side for the defense.
Bossy getting a little bit aggressive, but the flank already being watched as the rest of the team is looking towards B. The Owl Drone to start clearing stuff out. Trill's going to be playing this one on a close angle, though, and that is going to be to advantage. Being able to grab a kill before being taken out, and Physics is there. Hunter's Fury in hand. Going to take down Kentucky to even out this score going into this round. And now the 3 of them for Akrew stuck in B main.
Physic, of course, was going to get the kill with the Hunter's Fury. It seems at this point so rare for him not to connect the pick with that ultimate. But on the other hand, talking about ultimate, the rest is going to come in neon on the fight, ready to try it again in chemicals with a beautiful operator shot. It seems like he didn't even see anyone quite well, guaranteeing just a little bit more. And I don't think they're expecting Physic to be here.
They definitely don't. In the trigger discipline, waiting until they get 5. Physics is able to take 2 down before finally Calm turns and puts an end to that. But the damage is already done. 20 seconds left. Rushing over to site is a 2v1 situation. Does have the Viper's Pit though, so this is doable. Just kidding. Nope. Just kidding. It is not when you're going up against chemicals with an op.
Especially because the plant was in default, so predicting where this Viper was going to be became a lot easier. Even with a couple shots in the defense, they're getting closer and closer, getting away with another round. This is a point where Akrew would expect a timeout to come in to figure out what he can do. Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to be. A little bit more money that you can get early on, but besides that, no crazy rifles that will be coming in, because they know where the round that matters the most is the one that is going to potentially take them to 11.
A little bit of a jump peek around B main. Gonna confirm what they all suspected. There is an op sitting over there. And with that confirmation, gonna look back towards A. The rest of the team, the rest of Soar is so spread up towards the rest of the map, though. It's only going to be Bossy holding this site on the corner. Bossy, fantastic raise. But not pushing out right away is actually going to give ground for a fast rotation to come around and for Soar to already be waiting on site, ready for this push. And that's a flawless round to do it in. Akrew slowing down for just even half a second, going to be their downfall.
And the save one that was going on for Akrew, even though they tried to get a couple picks, didn't work out the way that they wanted to. The real test is going to be this one, though. Is Soar going to match those double digits, or will Akrew figure out what changes are going to be necessary? On the last matches, we've seen Akrew being the team coming up on top when it comes to adapting and changing the mentality, changing even positioning, anything to bring something new that we haven't seen before. This time around, it seems like it's going to be Soar. The Viper split going into the A side is going to make things difficult, and especially Chemicals getting away with the pick.
It's always the Jets and the Ops on Icebox. It works so well for Akrew over on defense, and it's working for Soar on their defense nonetheless. And at this point, that pick, the Viper's pit over on A, looks like it might start being a push over on B, trying to get that little bit of information. Seller's unable to quite get the kill, but does get away, at least with their life. But Bossy over on site going to be going down as well, and this is the time for Akrew to start trying to collapse on site. They have ops of their own. They have guns of their own, but Chemical's able to clap back. It's only a 2v3, though. And Soar have to try and shout, deny the spike, but it's already rotating back towards A, and there's nobody there.
There is nobody there. Everyone at mid or B, and by everyone I mean the last two members remaining for this set of Soar. So it seems like Akrew, they were able to figure out exactly what to do. The question is, can they finish what they started on this round? It's good for that information. They don't know that Neon is behind.
This could be so dangerous. Trill, the other side, is going to take Pancakes down. Now 1v2 situation. Trill tries to be pushing out, try and get that information. Gonna run right past one, though. Pushing out onto site, but at this point, the time, there's barely any, and it's against an op and somebody that you just passed already.
Oh, the time is going to be running out. There isn't even much to work with when the enemy Viper is going to take you down. And finally, Akrew figure out exactly what they needed to do and make it as fast as possible. And that's not really the case. Everyone is adapting. Everyone is changing right on time. And with that, it's not going to be longer of a timeout. We're going to get things right away started. And Akrew is still on top. Other members still alive. Chemicals almost connecting that kill with the operator, but lacking a little bit more. Even if the Sage was able to take a little bit of damage, the healing should be able to keep her up.
That was a good chunk of damage done. The jump peak, a little bit dangerous, but it's going to be able to walk away with their life after that one. They're just going to be teasing the op over on A. Spike's not going to be dedicated. It's just going to be a little bit split up people to try and see where any sort of information, any sort of picks can kind of be made. Though it's going to be dangerous on B as well, since that Viper wall is still up and holding strong.
Looking pretty strong right now, but you see how much of a risk both of the teams are playing here. They don't want to give any information, and the same mistake twice. Chemicals, you knew that this Jet was going to be watching the angle, and for the Sage walking so comfortably, I don't think they expected Chemicals to be there still, but well, you also don't expect the rotation to happen.
Cole's just holding strong on the back of site as time is starting to run out. Less than 15 seconds left to try and make a push out, and as the push comes out and the trades are there with it, it's going to be just seconds, and the pop around the corner is going to be putting the spike down, and now an impossible situation. Soar going to be able to take it down, and all of a sudden, they're within one of tying up this game.
Looking really, really close to what we saw on our first map today. But But we gotta see how close it's going to end up being that 11 to 11 potential. Absolutely there, especially when Soar are looking to do a little bit of what Akrew was doing before. Potential double operator working out in different parts of the map, of course. I think Chemicals has been a really good
You want to
highlight, so
play?
you want to
Let's
keep this
play.
player at A. But what about B?
The tour de force comes out, but it's going to be Bossy coming out on top. Op in hand. Tries to get away, but Neon around the corner is going to pop the Blade Storm and find 2 bodies. Start pushing out onto site. This is the round of the ultimates. The Hunter's Fury, but Calm is going to push it. Calm's not scared whatsoever. As the bodies fall, the site is going to fall in for Akrew.
Player standing.
And it's only going to be down to Chemicals now. Chemicals has been so clean with this op, but pushing out onto his site is always a dangerous game. And at this point, I don't even think there's a rifle nearby to even try and swap it with. Oh, Chemicals does have the Blade Storm. It could be perfect. The 2 members of Akrew are already so low on health. He could just find them.
Trying to get a very unique angle to work out, but the time is running out. The opportunities for the defuse are fading away as the 3 members, even though they don't have a lot of HP for the side of Akrew, will be getting away with their lives towards the end and pushing them to a match point for the side of Akrew. It's looking so close still though, so I think Soar still has a big potential on this one. I want to see what they have though, because it's kind of going back and forth for them.
Yeah, I feel like a huge difference maker going into that round, though, had to have been Neon on the Blade Storm, though. Being able to pop around the corner, take anyone out, be able to take Bossy out, who had held that corner tight with the op, and just make way for them to storm the site. And now just 1 away. They just got to carry that momentum for 1 more round to take the first map in the Winter Champs Finals. And for that, they're going to start trying over on A. See if there's anything to be found over there.
The information game, just like we saw every single match today, is when it plays out the most on those match points where everything that you're able to tell your team is going to be so crucial, including the operator from Chemicals being able to get away with their life is going to try to repick a massive mistake here. Chemicals does get taken down by the enemy's operator, having that better angle in that situation and pushing us to a 4v4. While it seems like the rotation was going to happen, Chemicals definitely notified the rest of the defensive team. Now we see hesitation for the attacking team.
Physics is already around the corner, though, and Physics has been such a strong player and not going in anytime soon. Chemicals, resurrected just to go down a second later. But Soar still with a fantastic advantage going into this 4v2.
Standing.
And any push out onto B site from Neon is going to be shut down. And
30 seconds.
Becky, the op shots have been clean, but in a 4v1 situation, I think at this point, Soar is going to be bringing this to an 11th match point.
And they knew where Kentucky was just because of the pick that we saw with the Jet being rest. They knew that he was all the way back, and because of that, Soar make it into another victory for them. Another round in a 12 to 11. There is so much skill. There's so much mechanical skill. There's so much energy going on between them to try to take the advantage into this last one. Luckily, and to make it more competitive, both of the teams are going to be able to buy whatever rifles they find necessary. An operator from Chemicals has been the opener in many, many rounds, and it seems like it's going to work out perfectly into this B side.
Chemicals pulling that close, but a missed shot is forced to be backing up there as there is a storm coming. Team just pushing so aggressive there. Just try and get a glimpse, try and get anything. But at this point, Akrew's not committing to it. They don't have to quite yet, but things could start getting dicey as there's a little bit of a flank coming out.
Watching here.
Things can get risky, but it seems like the flank is going to stop just for a little bit. More than anything to tell there's a rotation going on. Fesic, though, has been a highlight on those flanks and on those really uncomfortable situations for the rest of the team. The Viper Spit will be coming in, making things a lot harder for anyone to trying to get some visibility, including those operators that were so highlighted before.
Oh, the jump down with the Sheriff. Pancake's feeling a world of pain right off of that one. And the Viper's Pit might be on site, but it's Soar out on top as the spike is going down into the ground. But at this point, this is time for the ult, the resurrection. But the... Wow, there's just so much of the showstopper to try and bring it back. And now there's only one left alive for Soar. It is Trill to try and take us into overtime. And it's not going to be enough. Akrew take this in a 13-11 to take the first map in the Winter Champs qualifiers finals. Leaderboards faced off against each other, especially with both teams running double. And to start it off, it'll be a guiding light to get things started right into showers. People's going down. Will lead the momentum and trades coming out. Will put Akrew in driver's seat to try and take this down. And those are the only people on site. This is going to go free in favor of Akrew here, but there is a massive flank coming out. Palm will be the one coming out on top, but there is a second one there. Stellar didn't quite peek the corner. Catch Calm in the back, but it's going to be able to trade it out nonetheless. And now it's only two split up to try and push back out onto the site and take this pistol round.
3v2 and locational reveal for your specific. You know exactly where he's going to be, but that's not going to stop the Soar from getting the kills. Going to try to create a little bit more of that space with the recon bolts, but it's not going to be enough, especially when you're running out of HP to work with. Soar, Stellar, the last player remaining onto this one. They know that he's not defusing. They know it's going to be a little bit of that tease as he's trying to run away. He's got one more kill before it's over, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Like, you're really close, making it a 3K, but that is all that you can do there.
Bringing it so close, but at that point, there's no reason that Akrew needs to be peeking you or entertaining you in that spot, especially we got to see the kills. We got to see how clean those were. So there's no reason to even try and pick that and take those fights down, but it was still a good effort nonetheless. And now going into this next one, we're going to get buys for Akrew. One Marshall in the hands of Bossy, which I'm excited to see, especially it looks like it'll be a little push out through Hookah. See if anyone can be caught off guard at this long angle.
Oh, it's not going to connect just yet for the Marshall. Looking a little too low, and the peak happens way too fast. So it goes back to that information game, and you can look at it just from the positioning that this attacking team from Akrew is taking. Everyone watching a different corner, watching a different angle, making sure that no one on the defense is getting anything crazy. A little bit of damage was taking there for the Nova. Still should be good to be the opener of this fight.
Beyond just being able to pass around the outside of the gravitational well, we'll get a kill and not gonna fall. Gonna fall victim to that this time around. The peek over there though. Now, Akrew kind of just trying to eye things out, but Soar's all stacked over on A, pushing this up. They're pushing slowly, they're double checking, but at this point, the site is basically free, minus one person starting to make this rotation over.
The drone is going to reveal that someone will be all the way in the back of the side, and the dash being able to keep the Jet alive for a little bit longer, but the question is for how long is the 5 a lot of damage that was taken early on by the defense of Soar, and the plant will be going down.
Just trying to spam through the wall, so close, but not quite. Troll over on a rotate though, it's gonna be no dice this time around. Akrew just has to be holding these angles down. Force Soar into them already, doesn't even look too healthy, and these close angles with these Spectres are going to be so difficult to be pushing through, especially right at the gate. Stellar doesn't even have much health to even contest with, and it's starting to already look like a potential flawless round here for Akrew.
And it is going to be the flawless round coming in, and played very, very nice. Even taking some damage towards the beginning, Akrew was able to get away with their lives more than anything, get away with the plan, get away with the money more than anything. But it goes back to the same thing that we saw on the last map. It seems like Soar is starting to go online on this third round. Of course, we're gonna have the better rifles, the better economy to be working with, even buying a little bit more of utility. Even though it's still not looking ideal, it can make a difference into those long angles. ideally into the B side as I'm looking at, and the defense was also expecting a couple members to be. What they don't know is that a lot of them will be playing into that A lobby A short.
At this point, though, there's so much utility. The gravitational wells. And look at the angle that's being held here by Trill. It's going to be good for one right out of the gate. And Trill's going to be able to get out of that unharmed. Bossy on site. Taking a little bit of damage. Forced to back up just a little bit. There's already been damage done. The fire coming out and Stellar being able to go for the rotate, being able to pop out from heaven is just going to add to it. Akrew, all of a sudden, only 2 left to try and defend it, but the spike is planted. They just have to be holding this on, and it looks like Calm's got these lineups.
3v2, a lot of tension being built up by this set of Soar. Make sure that they're able to make something happen here. Is going to get spotted by everywhere he wanted to go. And once again, with the guiding light physic, will be taking down the enemy Silva right away. Pancakes can no longer be alive. And with that, Thomas is going to try to get some picks very late. But I think they're looking for a Q in towards this angle. And also looking a little away from the spike. So the defuse will be coming in. Viper will be taken down. The first round, of course, Soar is able to get into this one.
I mean, a round where you can get the full rifles and fire back. Definitely going to be a good round. That was really close. The lineups, the little lurk around through showers, but not quite enough to be able to keep that spike planted in the ground. But at this point now, both teams, full armor, full rifles. This one, we finally got a game on our hands.
Those rivals being bought on both sides, building a lot of tension for who's going to be able to steal each from the other side. And Soar, it has been now, I believe, 3 maps. The 3 maps that we've seen them in on this tournament, where they don't win the pistol round, but of course they're able to win that bonus round and deny the potential for that 3-0. The thing is that it gets a lot more difficult the more that the rounds go on. And that is what it was lacking a little bit on the last map on Icebox. They just needed a little bit of more energy, especially in the second half, to make it work. And that could also work out for them perfectly.
Trill popping around. Grab the 1 Spectre kill, and with that has unleashed hell with the rest of the team trying to chase him down, but it's not going to work. Trill standing strong. He's able to grab 3 before being traded out. That was huge momentum already gained. And Hunter's Fury going to be used up as well. Kanpeki is going to be pushing right through spawn, though. Look at this angle. There's going to be the Owl Drone out, and Physics is instantly going to be taken down, putting this into a 2v1 as the Cosmic Divide splits this site. But still, it's going to be a 1v2 now. It's going to be the line played here. Gucci.
Oh, yeah, the Seekers and the Guiding Light are going to
reveal. The paint shells!
Yeah, this last member in Lamps didn't have anywhere to go. The defense watching from 2 different angles into Lamps, and they're able to get away with the last kill, or able to get away with the round, and looking very, very similar, pushing us to a 2v2.
I mean, those paint shells, that's just one of the many reasons that Raze is such a great agent on this map. Not only the Seekers to know where the last member was, but those tight corners, those are dangerous to peek into, but they're also dangerous to play when there's agents that just throw utility in there.
I love seeing the Raze, or any Raze really having a good performance. It's so nice to see how much value you can get out of your utility, and pushing the limits on how you use utility is a crucial part of even playing Valorant. Everyone has a task. A lot of coaches have a task on figuring out new ways to do so. So a lot of control that is going to be given, but this time around is going to be the Gonzi. Hunter's Fury on the other side will not be getting any information, at least for a little bit, for this Silva Physic. Waiting around, knowing that someone can potentially be in the hookah, and there is someone there.
Only 3 left for Akrew. There's going to be an Owl Drone to start getting a little bit of information, and that's actually going to be forcing Becky to be backing out. Physics still holding strong on site, though, just underneath Hookah. Going to pop around the corner. The fastest 2 kills that we've seen all game. and the recon bolt to try and get this last little bit of information. Becky's not safe though. The Trailblazer and Trail full blind gonna take Becky down anyways for a near flawless round from Soar.
Is like able to shut down any potential coming in right away and highlighting himself. I think we can't stop talking about this Sova because he is insane at getting information early on. And on top of that, being able to connect the kills with the rifles right when you need him to, guaranteeing the numbers advantage will continue to go for the side of Soar as everyone starts to catch up. It seems like Bozzy's having a difficult time, so that is when the rest of the squad is able to come up to help this duelist out and to support each other to guarantee more and more rounds.
Ooh, the little jump peek confirmed that there is going to be an op around this corner. Bossy trying to hold this tight, close angle and playing so aggressively here. But as it's cat and mouse over on one side of the map, it's going to be a war zone on the other. It's going to be a little bit of a push up through hookah and trying to find any information, try and find anyone out. But Soar's not really giving them anything yet.
Poison's off.
Nothing yet, as this attacking side was trying to get some information towards B and trying to check that it was safe to go. And now the Seekers will go into the A and to reveal exactly where the enemy is going to be located. Should be a faster push here. Seems like the plan can even go down early on, especially as Chemicals goes down.
Paint shells in hand. The perfect angles. Not going to be great against a bunch of Seekers. And fantastic job of gaining that information coming up from Becky to take control of this site. Now Soar, ready to push up. Already have the angles through CD and through Heaven, though, to try and push down. But at this point, everyone from Akrew starting to back up. And it already looks like the Viper's in position for some lineups.
How much value can you get out of those lineups, especially with barely any HP? There's 2 members of Soar remaining. Might be backing up. This is a little too hard. You're going to even take some damage just passing through that wall, at least for a couple of seconds, and that can be very, very detrimental for an opportunity where the time is even running out. Going to be saving those rifles for the next one as it continues to look extremely close to a 3-3 round finals, and still on the second map it's so hard to tell who's going to end up getting that momentum on the map.
Yeah, and I mean, even if the momentum starts to shift one way and one team starts to get a little bit of a lead, I don't even know, because at this point, with the side swaps and each team being comfortable on different ends, I won't believe anything until it's set in stone. 13-11 after there is a huge advantage going over in the last game. So, never know. Teams can bounce back. Momentum can make or break anything after a swap. So, be interesting. But so far, going into this 3v3, these teams are still evenly matched going into this. There's going to be a Trailblazer to at least make sure that there's nobody lurking close up through. But a Trailblazer down long will reveal that Akrew's having a little bit of thoughts of pushing this site.
There's been a lot of rotations very early on for this attacking team, round after round, just getting that information. They don't know how close the Nebula is and that it is hiding 2 members of the enemy team behind, but Physic, of course, able to get away with the pick before anyone else. As Dylan is going to calm things down for a little bit, but the location is already a reveal of where this attacking team is going to be. You can still go to A. The Spike is looking towards A.
I love the little push there, and Akrew not wanting to mess over on B anymore is going to be pushing out and towards A, and out of A short is going to be that Viper's Pit coming out from comp to try and set the tone. But look at that. The spike is nowhere near it. The spike is actually towards B. It's just going to be a little bit of a bait as there's only 15 seconds left on the clock. A push out onto site. There's still 2 members of Soar on the site though, but they're going to be going down as the push from Hookah comes out. He's going to secure this spike going down. Cosmic Divide though, to try and give Soar a little bit of wiggle room to push out onto this.
It's a 3v3, and it seems like it's so rare at this point between these two teams to be even in those numbers for a post-plant scenario. I'm taking a lot of damage there, 6 HP to work with, and only
Enemy remaining.
trying to make something going. It actually makes it happen right away, shutting down even the Jet, even this duelist from the enemy team, putting the numbers advantage to go over the side of Akrew in this attacking team, and only a single member, only this race from Chemicals. Trying to also get something, but as the time is running out and there's only 22 HP, the opportunities run out. And I was saying the Viper only had the kills to depend on. There was not even any HP. The snake bite could have been effective as well, but in a situation like that, you're expecting 1 or 2 members to be pushing together, so that decision making to just connect those picks right away with the rifle seemed to be perfect for this team of Akrew that now get 2 in a row.
Yeah, and that was an amazing round. I just want to go back. That Viper's pit over on A as the rest of the team push towards B. I love that bait. That's an expensive bait. But as we saw in that round, that was a really effective one. But now that that's no longer on the board, Crew's got to be pushing into it. And, you know, they wanted to be going for a bait. They gotta try and sell it with something else. But they're going to be playing this one a little slower out of the gate. Neon has the op to try and peek that angle if anyone's going to start getting aggressive. And there's just going to be information attempted to be gained on the other side. It's going to be a default from Akrew.
To spray through those walls, but the Astra has to pay for it with a lot of that HP given and lost. Luckily, once again, the Sky is going to be there working together as a team to get the Astra back on the fight at the rotation. Is looking around to push towards A, where the deepest is also trying to do the same, as even trying to get this high ground positioning that can be amazing to get some kills early on.
No line of sight whatsoever, and there's not going to be any more as Astra Utility placed down within heaven. I'm going to trap Stellar up there. Try and get a little bit of information, but Chemicals looking to start and try and make this right, but it's not going to connect. The shots afterwards will take Neon down, but no impact off of the showstopper. And with that, this team's just going to rotate out. Akrew, they're going to try and play back towards B. Bossy tries to mad dash out of there. It's not going to be fast enough, but 15 seconds on. Team's got to get the spike planted, but they'll be able to take control of the site to do it. Trill, though, has the best little angle. I sprayed out a second earlier, could have denied that, but it's not going to be to any avail this time around. And all of a sudden, Akrew, only 2 left to try and fight off the storm that's coming with Soar.
Last player standing.
Oh, and that possibility is going to get denied. Pink is also being able to get away with 1 kill, but the shock bolt is going back and forth and is turning into a 1v1. It seems like they knew exactly where the Soar was going to be. And the gun connecting right away to the head of that Sova. Gets shot down and continues to make things even. An amazing clutch that we see from Trill, keeping things even and not letting Akrew take too much of an advantage.
I love that push. You jump out, you run at it with a little classic right click, pull out the rifle, and just finish the job. Absolutely fantastic. And I love how evenly matched this is. You can't really ask for too much better going into a finals, honestly.
The last map on Icebox was extremely close. It was a 13-11. So that is exactly what I'm expecting on this one, if not the overtime. And it is already shaping to go that way, the 4-4. No information given. The guiding light is going to reveal that someone will be pushing towards Hookah, or at least looking at that site. And that someone is going to be that Neon Hunter Spear is going to come out, trying to get some information. Thus, spot one of the players, and Pain kicks this time around, coming up on top with the Soba ultimate, and shutting down one of the members of the enemy team.
And with that, a push out onto A. Gonna be continuing the Wheel of Fortune going on in Akrew's favor as quickly as this round started. It's only 2 left for Soar. It is gonna be Bossy with the Blade Storm in hand and gonna be finding Kempeki around the corner. The dangerous ultimate for a duelist to have, but has absolutely no line of sight to work with, and a little spray through the nebula means Bossy's gonna go down. Chemicals now, 4v1 situation. At this point, Might just be better to try and take somebody down with you.
And Chemical is running out of time. How's the boom bot in case they want to use it, but that is not going to defuse the spike. That is not going to get the kills, unfortunately. It does get one. Spot someone else. The paint shells are going to create a little bit more space. Not really getting anything else as everyone is able to run away just in time. And in Chemicals, actually not able to run with their lives, unfortunately. And instead of Akrew pushing us to yet another round going their way. And maybe, I mean, there's 3 rounds left on this first half. It's just kind of expecting and hoping that one of the teams will be getting that momentum a little bit more, because it's not really going in any way. It's just the economy for both very much struggling round after round.
Yeah, and now it's going to be Soar over on just a couple of sheriffs and mostly classics going into this to try and save up. To try and take the next one. Try and make it a little bit even before going into the swap, though. Already a push up is just going to be a push up into death, but Chemicals with a pistol gonna get that done. That's definitely something. It's only 2 kills. It's still a save. It's not going to be winning the round, but any sort of momentum you can start getting at this point, it's going to be fantastic. And it's not going to stop there. And wait a second. Stellar managed to pick up a gun. This 2v1, this is possible.
It's possible, especially with the Seekers online. That orb that we saw this guy able to get, seems like came in just in time. A little bit later could have denied so many possibilities. And look at this. The utility is everything that Stellar could be needing. The guiding line is going to tell this player that no one else is going to be that close, because everyone will be playing all the way back.
Yeah, it's a Sova. It's a Viper. They have the lineups for days, and as close as this one got right down to the wire, Stellar's not going to be able to take despite it range, not going to have time. Just looking to take someone out at the end, is going to take Calm out of the pictures for being traded out, but that was a lost round nonetheless.
2 rounds in a row this time around for Akrew. Have the economy to continue this momentum going. Have a Viper Spit and have a Cosmic Divide to work with. It's our ultimates that create so much space and even make the enemy afraid in some cases of pushing or passing the Cosmic Divide, going to the other side of the Cosmic Divide, or even going inside of Viper Spit where you know you're going to be taking damage. As long as you're in, you're going to barely have any HP to work with. So Akrew, if they're able to play a little bit faster into one of the sides to use that Viper Spit space, including that Cosmic Divide, even as the opportunities for the rounds fade away, they have everything to win this one.
It's gonna be a little bit of a standoff, but Paint Shell's coming out through the fantastic little toss through the teleporter to punish anyone trying to be pushing up into Hookah, and the Boombot's gonna be following up. There's a lot of trouble that Bossy's causing all the way from the other side of the map. With that, this is going to be even up into a 3v3 situation. And now with no ground gained over in Hookah, Akrew's got to be backing up a little bit.
The last executions are going to be crucial here for this side of Akrew to try to make it that 7th round going in their favor. It's going to be all of them pushing together from that B long. And there's no one in that side. They can look pretty comfortable making it. The Cosmic Divide is going to come in, is going to put the scenario a little bit tougher for anyone trying to cross that barrier. And that information given makes it seem like the plan should be coming in pretty safely.
Pretty safely. There is not a soul over on B at this point. They had all pushed over to A, and that is just going to give Crew enough time to start setting up, get ready for these post-plant positions, be ready for the storm that's coming. All 3 going to be dashing through the teleporter, try and come out through Hookah to try and get back out onto the site, especially with their own Cosmic Divide at disposal. But at this point, it's going to be an absolute meltdown. Everyone's trying to pop out of Hookah. Everybody's waiting to be ready for those hopping out of Hookah, and it's going to be an Astra on both ends. Spike halfway to fuse before the gravitational well comes out. They gotta be doing this 1v1. A push through! Is it gonna be enough time? It's just enough time, and that was such a fantastic play coming out from Trill.
What an amazing timing for Trill. Knew that the enemy Astra was going to be pushing in, especially through the Cosmic Divide, where you can't even hear what's going on, and immediately you see this side of Akrew looking down, but not expecting the timing to work out so perfectly for the side of Soar. Getting that defuse just in time and pretty much running out of time, but made it perfect to make us still have the potential for a 6-6, just like we saw in the last map.
Definitely. But Akrew, looking to take advantage, is going to be doing a little bit of a line heading into showers. Trill's on the other end of it. Has utility to make it very devastating, but it's going to be the Trailblazer to call out where Trill is, but it's not going to matter. The Vipers get popped, but then Pecky pops around the corner. Even though 3v1 situation, but the information gained with the Seekers does have the spike in hand nonetheless, but the shock dart. Physics shoots a shock dart into showers to take Pecky out, and that is what Soar needs to tie this up going into the swap.
What an insane grand finals that we have in our hands. It's the second map and it couldn't be looking closer. It goes back to what we talked about, those pistol rounds and how much they can play into what is about to happen next. Those comebacks potential can be fading away for the set of Soar. Of course, they already lost the first map, but they can definitely make it happen. It's all about those pistol rounds. The thing about it is that every single pistol round has been going for the set of Akrew. They just seem to have the better understanding. So coming up with an upset on this pistol round for Soar would be ideal. You even see the potential, the momentum building for them now as they attack.
Definitely. And to be going for that, Sora's going to be looking to put their efforts towards showers, try and push up through there. There's one there to meet them, but is going to be backing up, not wanting to quite take that fight. But Sora's spread out. They're not committing to anything. Instead, as there's all the shenanigans happening over on A's site, it's going to be a long haul back over to B, where there's Kenpecky waiting and guarding for them.
The information game once again comes up to be crucial on this pistol round, where the hesitation is the name of the game, but not anymore, as the opening pick is going for the side of Akrew. They are good for one, but a little bit more that is going to be needed. It's gotta be on this B side, where everyone on the attacking side for Soar is looking forward to push.
A fantastic use of Viper utility outside of who could be shutting that down. Pushing out, and Neon's got his back. Any push from Soar denied, and Akrew, they're going to be taking the lead with the pistol round. They haven't been losing them, and they're not about to start.
Akrew again with the pistol round. I mean, they look unstoppable on that first and second round every single half that we've seen from them. They just really know how to play it out. They know how to make those rotations come in time, and more than anything, to get the opening pick that enabled them from success, and it was all in the hands of their Astra. Still kind of going back and forth, but I mean, if you're on the side of Soar, you're really not trying to get much going on early on, but more than anything, holding those corners with the pistol and hoping for an early pick.
Going to be a boombot to catch out. There's somebody waiting on the other side of showers, and the owl drone's going to catch out exactly how many are on the other side. Chemicals lurking around, going to be taking down by Gucci right out of the gate. And as the push comes out towards A short, it's going to be Akrew just holding strong. These Spectres in hand. It's a death trap for anybody of Soar to try and be pushing through. All you can hope for is try and take somebody down with you, and it's not going to be happening this time for Physics.
A flawless as well to make it work, to keep those guns in the hands of Akrew in an 8-6. What else can this team do? They look a lot more even when it comes to the kills, just looking at what they have, and even if they're going to jump into a Spectre one, even if they are trying to get this next bonus round, They have the potential to do so. They are definitely looking like the better team in these 2 rounds that we've seen so far. And even overall, I feel like they have already proven to be the team that is better at adapting. So I want to see what Soar is able to do. Some information is going to be given thanks to the guiding light.
You know that somebody's there, and a Trailblazer is going to catch out exactly where Quebec is hiding this time around. As Soar is debating on pushing this up. It is dangerous, though. You're facing down a Sky that has more utility than just that one guiding light, and that's going to be giving the information that there's going to be 2 pushing up through B long to try and push out on. There's still so many bodies over on B, but there's no commitments from Soar quite yet. The spike's still all the way by spawn.
For those picks is what the attacking team is trying to do, holding every single entrance that you can find. Basic one that is going to find a kill on Neon, putting Soar into the numbers advantage. And even maybe motivating that rotation to happen along with the Seekers is all the drones coming in, all that information that you can overwhelm the enemy with.
Seekers aren't enough. We need an owl drone on top of that. At this point, with 30 seconds left, it's time for Soar to regroup and push out onto a site, but it's going to be a quick teleport over to B. There is only a couple of people from Akrew holding on the back of site, and with the full push out, they're going to fall. Even any chance at a rotation through not going well, and all of a sudden, Pancakes in a world of pain right here. You can see why the name is there. Bossy pops around the corner, and it's a flawless round for Soar. Put this back in between one, and I'm not surprised considering the game we've had. I think this is going to go neck and neck right until the end.
I definitely do want to see even an overtime coming in. They had, for the side of Soar, one of their maps went to that overtime. We didn't get to see it, but we know that it happened. So it is just showing how close these two teams are in skill. The last map extremely close. This one shaping to be just that, and already being one of those. An 8-7. The attacking team of Soar, I want to see what they're able to do this time around. They get the information, but what do they do with it? The Trailblazer is going to continue figuring out who's going to be close. I think they got it, though.
It's tough because already the pick of the board and 3 standing on the other side of B long. What Soar looks like to be doing right now is fading away in this round as Akrew takes a very early advantage. He's holding these angles. Soar, they have the spike in hand, but it's a mad scramble to try and find a little bit of footing.
Trying to push towards that A side from different positions. One from one side, the other for on the other side, trying to go in slowly. That A short seems like it's working out, but the location is going to be revealed once again by those guiding lights that have been on point for the side of Akrew from the sky. But as they talk about, her does get taken down 14 HP to work with for Bossy.
14 HP and a dream. One was taken out in showers. You know there's another one there, but it's going to be Pancakes descending from heaven to take Bossy out of that. And that was a rough round for Soar.
It was definitely a rough one, and one that they didn't want to lose, taking into account that on the past round they had bought, and they were looking really good to continue having those rivals that were lost, but luckily for them, are going to be bought again as the momentum continues to go back and forth, especially in those early rounds in the second half, where it seems like Akrew could be getting those double digits early on.
Definitely with how they've been playing. Over on B long, there's going to be the Nebula to deny any line of sight, and Neon's going to be holding that close corner for when it falls, but might be pushed right out of that. Look at the pure aggression that Soar is putting on that side of the map. Peaks from both ends. There's the utility to try and clear that close corner, but still a spray down through. It's going to be a trade then on both sides. This isn't a safe hallway.
It is not at all, especially into the B long. That can get so hard as that information it gets denied, but the kills are coming in. The Seekers again, it seems like we've seen them so often just because of that performance from Ken Picky and everyone else. On the side of Akrew trying to get those double digits. still fighting for it. It's a 3v3. Barely any HP for the Sky. The last one remaining here in the plant should be going down.
At this point, it's gonna be Akrew so split up. But being able to take the fights 1v1 is not going to be a negative for them whatsoever. Splitting up the remaining members of Soar means that they're going to be falling independently. And Akrew, well, they're now on double digits.
10-7, but it's also still looking like we saw on the last map where Soar was losing a couple rounds in a row. They were making a lot of mistakes early into the round. They were losing members early on, and out of nowhere they're starting getting round after round. I don't think it's going to be this one, but it is definitely a possibility. We've seen a couple of thrifties coming in for both of the teams, but as I'm looking at Akrew, they just look so strong. Not only they're able to keep the rivals from the last round, they have a couple ultimates to work with as well, including the Cosmic Divide.
All the ults are on, not all the ults, actually only a couple, but the Cosmic Divide is one that's impactful enough. It's online. It's not going to make too much of a difference, though. The Blade Storm will be popped in favor of Soar going into this. A push through heaven, through showers. Sorry. Wow. Words are hard. It's getting late over here. It's not going to be going too well for Akrew whatsoever. And that's going to give way for Soar to start pushing out onto site. Only 2 left for Akrew at this point to try and make anything happen.
Last player standing.
And what else can be happening here? Soar has a numbers advantage. Epic is good for 1, but that is going to be it. As of course, the half save that we saw from Soar is going to be effective. I'm so surprised that they were able to get away with so many of those.
No, right? But, I mean, if that's something you can get away with, why not? But a fantastic round, but still 2 away from tying this up. And at this point now, there's going to be the Cosmic Divide. There is a Blade Storm. There is different things that Akrew could start working with, but they got to fix their money situation first.
And that is a tough one to ask, even for both of the teams. Guiding Light trying to get some information. Will be knowing that someone's gonna be there. The Showstopper will be there to deny that the trade is there. It's not too bad for any of the teams. One, the ultimates used, the Hunter's Fury was in the other side. It seems like it didn't connect the way that they wanted to, though, as everyone on the Tekken side is looking forward towards this.
1v1s consistently happening, leaving these teams back on even footing. Those Soar a little ahead just in the fact that they're able to push out and get it planted. But Neon's putting in work with the Blade Storm, going on the flank and being able to grab a pick. It's going to put this now into even footing as Akrew tries to push out onto site. The Viper Wall going up will deny a little bit of line of sight, but Gravitational Wells is going to make it tricky for the mobility needed to be able to push out. Guiding Light will give out a little bit of information, but as the wall falls, so are the 2 remaining members of Akrew and Soar. Fantastic job, Trill, with the 3 kills to put this within 1 yet again.
I can't believe that Soar gets away with it every single time. It looks like they're going to lose momentum, but that is when they get even more warm up and harder to get those rounds after rounds. 2 in a row now. Need 1 more, and they're going to guarantee that with the operator. I feel like Bossy, if they're able to enable display for success with the operator, that could be everything. Has been struggling a lot, but an operator can bring the confidence right back up. Just making sure that you're playing this carefully, making sure that no much information is given, as the showers is getting a lot of action.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think anyone seems to be playing that part of the map carefully. All the utility coming out, everything. But as there's shenanigans over there, it's gonna be Chemicals trying to be pushing into a Viper's Pit over on B, and it's not gonna be going so well. And with that, Akrew with the momentum going into this. Soar, though, just playing it slow. It's just for picks, and despite the fact that the B pick wasn't successful, maybe they can make something happen somewhere else, but they gotta contest Neon in this off.
The Viper's Pit, always so good at 9 visibility, and that can become so hard. It's a very interesting positioning, right? It's not covering any of those major angles where the spike is usually planted, and that leaves a lot of control for the defensive team of Akrew to get a little bit more stellar. The last one remaining, the spike is
30
right in the
seconds left.
middle of the map. Has to make a miracle happen here. Gotta be an ace to make it going. Good for one, but immediately gets shot down by Neon with the operator. Guaranteeing that Akrew this time around will not be stuck with that 10 rounds for too long. Immediately jumping right to 11.
Yeah, for sure. At the end there, too, it was a little interesting that there was no attempt to go back for the spike. It just seemed like, okay, 30 seconds left. It's probably watch. I'm just going to try and get a kill. But with this round, it'll now be full buys on the board, so you have a little bit of armor. But Akrew's getting pretty close to bringing this to match point. Both teams have a Cosmic Divide at their disposal, though. But the Seekers that Sky has in her back pocket could be a huge momentum shift in this round. And so could this hold over on B-Long. It's going to be Neon with an op. Fantastic pick. And, you know, that's not going to be the only member of the crew standing out. Already 2 early kills. Putting this momentum, and it's going to be a guiding light down long and a spray down from Kompeki to put it down to a 5v1 situation. It's only Stellar left in between Akrew in a flawless round, and that's going to be achieved with that shock dart.
With the shock dart and even the damage coming through from the other side of the teleporter, for now this is match point. It is map point and match point. Akrew were able to get away with the victory 13-11 on Icebox. Now we're looking forward to make it a little bit faster for their team on what could be the last round. Is a Cosmic Divide, it's a Hunter's Fury, it is the Seekers. Every ultimate that we've seen being highlighted from the side of Akrew will be online and available to use. And on top of that, you're gonna have Neon. On top of this, box denying information has to drop immediately. Ready to have control of sight.
Everything coming out. Neon tries to go for the shorty, though. Not going to be connecting, but Pancakes will be able to follow up and grab a Hunter's Fury kill through Cosmic Divide. And now already, Soar is trying to push out onto site. They're trying to play right into this, but everybody is here. All these angles being held. They're able to get the spike planted, but are they going to be able to hold it as all the members of the crew are already here gathered together to be collapsing out onto site? The trades coming out are going to put this in even footing now. Have to see if the crew pop around the corner. Neon still alive. It's been such a difference maker going into this game so far, and it's gonna have to pop off. 2v1 situation. Not much health on the board, but physics managing to grab that 3 kills necessary to keep Soar alive in the finals.
Swinging at the same time is what won Soar the round right when they needed to. On top of that, just wasting as much time as possible from the defense, denying that post-planned scenario to turn out into a defuse. So even those abilities that were used, even in those ultimates that I mentioned on the last round for Akrew, were pretty much wasted. The Seekers didn't get the information that they needed to. Now they're only sticking to a single ultimate to make a difference. And on top of that, I want to see them relying on those kills early on again. Guiding light to start off the information game between the two teams, knowing that someone is going to be pushing long, but not one, but two along with the duelist.
A little bit of information gained. Nobody gonna be playing too close up over. Instead, gonna be playing it back. Gonna play it safe out onto site, except for Neon. Neon doesn't miss. Neon can push far up with that op and get these picks. And already, that's going to be huge. Going to give way for Pancakes to hold that other angle. And Soar, now only 3. Try and make something happen. They know there's such a big presence over on B. That's only going to be further confirmed with this Trailblazer. There's only one on A. If they can take Calm down, they can try and take that site. They got to get Spike over there first.
Not really knowing exactly where this jet is going to be. Could be really close, and it will be really close. Now can Bossy still managing to be alive. The Hunter's Fury will be coming up as well. But even then, looking towards Calm Down, already got taken down and pushing us to a 3v3. They information that we saw towards the beginning is not going to play into role anymore, as the kills are going to be the leading actor here.
Spike, with just over 10 seconds left, is going to go down, but it's going to be catching the last couple of members of Soar out of position. And with that, Akrew 13-10. Fantastic showing to take the finals of the Winter Champ Qualifier 8 down in a fantastic 2-0 fashion.